As Lori mentioned, we got a hurricane brewing in the Atlantic, folks, and while it's not expected to make landfall, something it does have the potential of doing has prompted emergency management officials to actually shut down some beaches starting tomorrow. Stand by for the details. Multiple tire theft targeting people's cars on the Upper East Side. Police say it's a throwback to the 80s when it was commonplace. The sanitation folks holding court to talk about how great garbage pickup is here in the city, but we're taking it to the next level. The answer to the question, did it get rid of the rats? Can we please go to the bathroom in peace, please? That's the rallying cry from cabbies who say there needs to be a law that nudges businesses and filling stations to let them use the John. They don't have time to drive all the way back home. If you see a shark in the water, you probably shouldn't pick it up with your bare hands. It could cost you a limb. Down in Florida, a guy had to see for himself. Oh, boy, oh, boy. AccuWeather says cloudy skies tonight. Get a late shower out of it later this evening. We'll drop down to a low of 65. With News Time 401, and from your Mercedes-Benz of Edison.com traffic center to get you where you need to go now. Here's Greg Rice.
Well, the northbound western spur of the New Jersey Turnpike is still closed because of a truck fire. The fire is mostly out. It's just smoldering. But the northbound western spur, it looks like that's going to be closed for quite a while. It's why you got to standstill back to Newark Airport. The southbound western spur, you got a couple of lanes getting by, but as bad as the eastern spur has become, deal with it. Because, again, the western spur is awful either way south of Route 3 because of that truck fire. That still has all northbound lanes shut down. Deal with the eastern spur either way. Citybound George Washington Bridge, that's gotten better as rush hour begins. The West Side Highway, north of some trouble in the 70s, it's the best ride out of town. The northbound Deegan, it's not great, but everything else out of the Bronx is worse. Lincoln's about 10 minutes in, 20 out from 11th, better from Mount Holland. It's about 15 to 20 minutes getting you out of town. The inbound Holland Tunnel, extra couple from the Skyway, better off of the Newark Bay extension. It looks like the lower level Queensbound on the Queensboro Bridge, we're dealing with a crash. The Throgs Neck across the Upper East, that's the best of what you've got. Belt in Brooklyn, we just heard from Sue on the 1010 Winds traffic tip line. She tells us about a wreck on the eastbound belt at Erskine in the left lane. That'll slow you down from Flatbush Avenue. Westbound belt bunched up from Plum Beach all the way to the Verrazano. Greg Rice, 1010 Winds at 92.3 FM.
Well, now, how crazy is this? That storm Erin we've been telling you about is not coming here. There's no danger of highly destructive winds or anything like that. But the big concern here in the tri-state is what it's doing to the surf, the rip current potential. It's at the top of the emergency management officials' minds. We'll tell you more about that here in a moment. But first, let's talk about the conditions we expect around here. AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson in the Weather Center now with the details. Brian?
Yeah, we've already started to see some elevated surf today, Larry, and some rip currents already, even though the storm's east of the Bahamas right now. So as the storm moves northward in the coming days, the impacts will get worse across the area at the coast. And we're going to see life-threatening rip currents, high surf, beach erosion, especially along the south shore of Long Island and at the Jersey Shore. This is going to be the case all the way through Friday. Again, as the storm will make its closest pass to the area later Thursday into Thursday night, that may pick up the wind a little bit across eastern Long Island, maybe some gusts to 40 miles per hour. But again, the main impacts for us will be rip currents, high surf, and beach erosion all the way through Friday. We should see some improvement as we head toward the weekend. Harry?
Thank you, Brian. And now the big pill to swallow. Yeah, all over the tri-state now. They're sounding the horn, telling folks to keep out of the surf. Mayor Eric Adams just issued a statement to announce that all city beaches will be closed tomorrow and Thursday. And he says no lifeguards will be on duty. With the National Weather Service predicting large breaking waves of up to 13 feet, he says life-threatening rip currents, even for the strongest of swimmers, is not advised. Ditto, says Governor Phil Murphy in New Jersey.
Please take this seriously. Particularly push back on complacency, on the human nature of, gosh, it's beautiful outside. Let's sneak a quick dip in the water. This is not the week to do that.
Yeah, and you notice he reiterated what Brian Thompson told us in the Weather Center. It's going to be a few days of this, folks. We took it to the Jersey Shore, in fact.
Garrett Patterson's the OEM coordinator in Asbury Park, and I checked out something online I wanted to ask him about. Is swimming still allowed for now?
That you might allow folks to go in, like, say, up to their knees and kind of wade but not swim. Is that correct or not correct?
It's all going to determine on the conditions. It'll be determined based on the conditions of the water at the time.
Ship Bottom and LBI putting out notice that no swimming is allowed at all on their beaches. Tom Tosi and his family have just arrived for a long-planned family reunion.
We're just trying to see the most of each other before we head back home. And
so beach or no beach, you're happy to be together, right? So
definitely, yes.
Glenn Schuck, 1010 wins, 92.3 FM.
Meantime, Hempstead Town Supervisor John Peretti says they're going to take it a day at a time.
As of now, we're expecting the sand and the beaches to be open without any access to the water, so no swimming. But we do anticipate that the access to the sand will be available tomorrow.
So, Lynn family, listen to me real big. I'm not a meteorologist. I'm just a newsman who grew up in Orlando, Daytona Beach, and I've seen these things before. It looks gorgeous outside, doesn't it? Oh, it looks so inviting. Don't risk it, man. Don't risk it. You know, they know what they're talking about. We're not hyping it up to get ratings or anything around here. We want you to be safe. Anyway, we invite you to stay with 1010 Winds for the next several days. Again, no storm activity from Hurricane Erin, but enough churning offshore to cause problems for beachgoers with regard to riptides. So stay with us for the latest. Also today, and as first reported on 1010 Winds, an investigation on the Upper East after a rash of tire thefts.
NYPD's 19th precinct is investigating a string of tire and rim thefts sweeping across the Upper East Side.
No car is safe.
Stephanie Reckler, a lifelong Upper East Sider, says it's gotten to the point she'll only park her car in a garage.
We would never park our car on the street unless we want to lose our tires.
And she's not the only one. Pierre Van Boxdale says he even witnessed one of the thefts while he was on a walk with his dogs.
They were in process of stealing the wheels when somebody must have scared them away. The Mercedes was on jacks.
Police have posted online ways to prevent these types of crimes from happening, but they're urging neighbors to call 911 at the first sign of anyone lurking near a parked car. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM on the Upper East Side.
And get this, they say these guys can remove all four wheels from your car in under 2 minutes. That's NASCAR stuff right there. And well, there's an update now on New York City's war on rats and roaches and other varmint that irks you. The sanitation people crowed about how good the trash storage and pickup is going. On the side, though, it's the positive side effect, the rodent deterrent, that's even more noticeable.
Mayor Adams fast talking about litter and the city's successes in cleaning up the town.
It's garbage to say that we can't have a cleaner city. Let's be clear on that. We can.
His honor came to the South Street Sanitation Depot to announce that rats are running scared.
Year to date, rat sightings are down 16.4% citywide.
He says the rats are out and the bins are in. 800,000 closed garbage cans purchased and highways are getting cleaner. Sanitation trucks have hauled 15 million pounds of trash off shoulders and medians over the past 2 years. Julia Papa, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
Family, you know there's some rat sitting there going, yeah, he thinks he's got it made. You just wait till the next convention comes to town. I'm going to run rat all over these people's feet. A public hearing tonight, everybody. It'll start at 6 o'clock. The MTA holding its first public hearing to discuss these $3 subway and fare hikes that are on the table. Hearings at 130 Livingston in Brooklyn, or you can zoom in on it. Mayor Adams says it's all about fighting for a manageable cost of living, saying, yeah, it's $2.90 now. It'll go up to $3, but that's a pretty big deal when you don't have, right? Anyway, there's a second public hearing tonight at 9, and then we have 2 more tomorrow, one at 10 a.m., another at 5 p.m. Under the proposed fare hikes, again, the subway and bus ride would go to an even $3. Can you imagine you're driving around in a taxi or some app hail all day long, and you got to go to the bathroom like really, really bad, and there's a perfectly good filling station there with a perfectly good bathroom to use, and they tell you, no, for customers only, sorry, bye. Well, the cabbies in this city say there needs to be a law. Something needs to take care of that. I'll tell you about it here in a minute after traffic and weather. Wednesday news time 4:11, and from your Mercedes-Benz of Edison.com traffic center. Let's get you where you need to go now. Here's Greg Rice.
Well, here is the western spur of the New Jersey Turnpike. The northbound western spur of the Turnpike is still closed because of a car fire south of Route 3. Southbound Turnpike, you do have a couple of right lanes getting by, but either way, the Turnpike a mess on the western spur south of Route 3 because of the northbound truck fire. The eastern spur of the New Jersey Turnpike, that is going to treat you a whole lot better in either direction. Now, the ride at the George, here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The inbound side of the George Washington Bridge, no more than a few minutes on the upper level. Lower level is even better. West Side Highway, best way out. No great option out of the Bronx, but the northbound Deeg and the best of it. Lincoln It's about 10 minutes in. Outbound Lincoln about 15 minutes from 11th, better from 9th. Holland about 20 minutes out. The inbound Skyway is slow to Newark Bay is better. Brooklyn, B2E westbound after Atlantic Avenue with a crash, making the bad ride worse from McGinnis Boulevard. Belt Parkway got the eastbound collision near Erskine Street in the left lane, and a westbound crash on the belt between Ocean Parkway and Shell Road, blocking 2 right lanes. So you can't catch a break on the belt in Brooklyn in either direction. Jersey-bound Outer Bridge is getting worse, so the Goethals to the southbound Turnpike does better off of Staten Island. Greg Rice, 1010 wins at 92.3 FM.
And now your after weather 4-day forecast. And here's meteorologist Brian Thompson with this live report.
Well, Larry, it's been a nice day today, aside from the increasing rip current and high surf threat. So we're seeing some sunshine across the area right now. Temperatures in the 70s. The humidity is very low. Clouds will increase into tonight. There will be a shower around late. Tonight's all around 65. And a cloudy sky tomorrow and into tomorrow night. Well, periods of rain. Some of the rain could be heavy, especially later in the day tomorrow into tomorrow night. And it could be heavy enough to cause flash flooding in some areas. High tomorrow 74. The breeze will pick up tomorrow night with a low of 64. Windy at times Thursday, especially near the coast. It'll be cool with a shower to start. Then remaining cloudy through the day, high 72. And sunshine returns Friday, high 81. Partly sunny and 74. Right down Midtown, we're going down to 65. Back in by the meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
So our producer Kyle can tell you how many times I have opined and whined about sitting in the studio, not using the restroom before I came in to do the show. Got to sit 30 minutes. Imagine now the taxi drivers who are riding around for hours and don't have access to a restroom because they're being turned away by businesses and filling stations who won't let them in. Well, now they're working on a law for that. Maybe I should get a law for that too, Kyle.
To many, it's a normal part of the day, but for taxi drivers like Laura Lorenzo Valdez, using the bathroom is a luxury.
Very uncomfortable because sometimes you have to wait too many times to use the bathroom because you don't know where to park.
And it's hard to find a place that will let her go. The New York State Federation of Taxi Drivers is pushing the city to allow them to park anywhere for 30 minutes except for fire hydrants, no standing zones, and bus lanes to use the bathroom. And, says spokesperson Fernando Mateo,
should be a law. You don't let a driver use your bathroom, you know what? You may be entitled to a fine, a warning.
Mac Rosenberg, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Certainly not to make light of what those folks are talking about, but I feel like calling the police or City Hall. Hello? Larry Mullins here. They won't let me use the restroom between shows. In Sweden, they're moving an old church 3 miles down the road to keep it from being swallowed by a mine. The Karuna Church is being moved to a new city center in Sweden, as part of the entire town's relocation. Yeah, it's happening because the world's largest underground iron ore mine is threatening to swallow the whole doggone town, it says here. What? This week, thousands of people have descended